If you look at my presentation, it's a very high-level view because it's multidisciplinary and involves a lot of different observations from different levels. And I want you to take back one point, and that is that how do you anchor researchers to really solve important problems that we face at a civilizational level? So if you look at this path to human progress, and you see distances on this path are really traveled by making new connections between things. And many times new connections in different disciplines. But sometimes you'll find that when the time is right, important new value is created by making new connections between research domains, new connections that address an important challenge or an important problem. With rapid advances in our understanding of self-organization in living systems, our understanding of information sciences, I think this is one such time, a time when science has developed to a certain level where we're able to comprehend and understand these problems. And on the other hand, we have these problems becoming acute and quite pressing at the civilizational level. So I think this is one such time, a time to connect between research disciplines. And today I present how research from across disciplines can get connected to provide new insights to a pressing problem like ecological sustainability. How new connections led us to a question about the natural roots of our banking system, then is there some commonality there? And how new connections suggested new avenues in synergizing our economic systems and our ecosystems through exchangeable currencies. Now, this is also a possibility that we're exploring. Many of the long-standing problems that we face today arise through interactions between large, complex, multi-scale, self-organizing systems operating at two or more different levels. The conflict, for instance, between economic development and ecosystems. This conflict is perhaps as old as human civilization. Today, with 7 billion people on the planet, this conflict has attained epic proportions. And there's a very good reason why this problem is so difficult to solve. The problem is not that people don't want ecosystems to be damaged, or that they do not care enough. But it is because the conflict arises through interactions between two large self-organizing systems. A self-organizing global ecosystem that kind of hugs our planet at every millimeter level, scales up to local ecosystems, further scales up to biomes, and further scales up to a global level, and it's all networked and integrated. And a self-organizing economic system that spans interactions from local levels of small businesses to regional and state levels to the national level and finally at a global scale. An effective solution requires two systems to be simultaneously aligned across multiple spatial, temporal, and may I say, political scales. And that is what makes it so hard to do. Another important problem of our times is the conflict between economic development and social capital. This again is a multi-level problem that involves interactions between social self-organizing processes that first give rise to kinship-based social organizations or kinship-based social networks that support families and communities, and self-organizing processes that reorganize people into non-kinship-based formal economic organizations. The decline in informal social networks that accompanies economic development diminishes community and transfers a lot of the social burden on governments, hence increasing social costs, tax rates, and is putting an additional burden on the economy. Another important challenge for our times is national development in the context of globalization. We now know that regime changes can be relatively easy. But the process of transitioning a chaotic young nation state from its inception to stable integration into the global economy is far more difficult, and it requires understanding of self-organizing processes that operate at two different levels. Self-organizing processes that give rise to a national identity, and a stable national identity that integrates across multiple communities, national institutions, and self-organizing processes that further integrate emergent nation states into the global socio-economic order. So on one hand, we have a number of problems that are inherently multi-level in nature. And on the other hand, while we've covered a lot of ground in enhancing our understanding of self-organizing systems, much of our research is still focused at a single level. The question is, how can one bring insights from single-level research or single-domain-level research to address important multi-level problems? And this is the challenge that motivated our work and motivated this research. So, to test the waters in this process of connecting single-level domain research to address multi-level problems, the problem of ecosystem versus economy was chosen. The question was, can current scientific research help us build a multi-level model that can help us better understand this dynamic and possibly suggest new ways to address this problem? And we'll see at the end of the presentation if indeed science can provide us with new directions. So initially, current research and models in self-organization across multiple levels were reviewed: atomic to molecular, cellular, multicellular, ecosystems, neurological, socioeconomic. And the research focus was to identify multi-level evolutionary patterns. And since all living systems, including our society and economy, are evolving systems, we thought like static models are not really going to fully characterize these systems. At the same time, we needed some kind of a scaffolding, a conceptual scaffolding or a focus point, like John mentioned, that was relatively stable, that was well characterized, and which could actually relate to research, or where researchers from across disciplines could relate to. And so what we really looked at is evolutionary patterns and how these systems evolved at a very, very simple level to try and build a scaffolding for further research. Hence, we thought that evolutionary patterns would help us build a multi-level view. In the course of this research, certain observations from across different disciplines really stood out. For instance, Joshi and Ines, studying ecosystems, talk about ecological stability of species and proposed an idea that within ecosystems, autotrophic species which have a larger ecological scope or are ecologically more stable than heterotrophic species. That is, autotrophic species that produce and consume their biomass within the same species organization and which are coupled together, where production and consumption are coupled together, are more stable and have a larger ecological scope than systems which are decoupled like heterotrophs, where production is dependent on autotrophic production. Now it's a simple concept, but it presents an important conceptual framework to understand stability and viability in production-consumption systems in ecosystems. Robin Dunbar and his group at Oxford found different bond strengths between kinship and non-kinship-based social networks. They found that kinship-based social networks have stronger bonds than non-kinship-based social networks. And this is consistent across different geographies and different social groups. Stronger bonds are usually associated with more stable organizations. And could their observation mean that kinship-based social groups are inherently more stable than non-kinship-based social groups? Kinship-based social groups are seen across many species, and they have emerged much earlier in evolution. Within mammals, non-kinship-based social groups are a recent phenomena only found in human society. From a behavioral perspective, also, people take care of their families without need for any external motivation or external reward like money. But to work in a business or in a non-kinship-based social group, you need an external reward like money. So we're asking the question is, are there really fundamental differences in these two kinds of networks, that is kinship-based social groups and non-kinship? kinship-based social groups. In Finland, Kohonen and Honkela, Timo Honkela and Trevor Kohonen, were studying the emergence of higher-level concepts and language through unsupervised learning in networks of autonomous agents. Their studies were based on computer simulations and suggest a broad framework on how higher order or conceptual knowledge can emerge through unsupervised learning. In machine learning terms, unsupervised learning is learning without feedback and is modeled through self-organizing maps. According to them, the self-organizing maps capture higher order knowledge, which is prerequisite to the emergence of language. So an important, again, research happening on how higher order concepts and language can emerge through interactions between such agents. Paul Bingham and Bob Logan, and this is actually the context in which I first met Bob, have independently been researching the role of language in social self-organization. According to them, language emerged through human sociality within kinship-based social groups. And when the complexity of social interactions increased, the demands from sociality are no longer fulfilled through communications based on precepts. And precepts in their words are here and now feelings. And this led to the emergence of conceptual communication and language. Another interesting data point was Yogi Busaki in New York. And Busaki has proposed the existence of language-like syntax in communications between neuronal cellular assemblies in the brain. The question is, how does a syntax like this emerge in the brain? And is there a special significance to the emergence of this kind of syntax? Gunther Witzeny, who was here a few days ago, and others have often questioned if there is more to DNA than just a template for replication in cellular regulatory functions. And more importantly, that why is it that so many viruses are inserting so many different pieces in a DNA network on a dynamical basis? Is there really a larger significance to a phenomenon like this? And finally, Harvard Business School professor Bruce Scott instead of studying economics in different silos, he proposed that the economy as a whole is an organizing system. And what this suggests is that is a complete systems view, where we're seeing the sum of the parts. The system is bigger than the sum of the parts. Now the question is that can we connect these observations to an overarching hypothesis, a hypothesis that presents a larger multilevel picture. So people are working in all these different disciplines, have different observations, and we're trying to see is that how can all of these things be brought together around a simple scaffolding hypothesis that can actually get people to ask questions and look at a larger multi-level picture. So three recurrent evolutionary patterns emerged over here. So what we did was we started making connections between research findings using theoretical models in self-organization as a rational filter. And an interesting recurrent pattern in the form of a triad arises. This triad is seen across levels in self-organization. The first is the emergence of dependence and production-dependent ecosystems. The second part of this triad is the emergence of what I call as alphabetic catalysts, or rule-making networks like proteins with 20 amino acids, DNA with 4 nucleotide bases, human language with alphabets, and communications between neuronal assemblies in the brain. Thirdly, the emergence of coupled species like multicellular species and kinship-based social organizations, where production and consumption of the organizing resource happens within the same composite entity. So these three patterns are recurrent across multiple levels. Now zooming in on the emergence of dependence, we found that at every level, the emergence of dependent is accompanied by a certain pattern in the evolution of species, where a coupled composite species that contains both producing and consuming elements within the same composite species organization are decoupled to give rise to a dependent species. And it seems somehow in the course of evolution, living species figure out how to support new levels of dependence and interaction cycles between producing and dependent species. To bring out multi-level similarities, this kind of an evolutionary event has been defined as a decoupling evolutionary transformation. Evolutionary transformation. Yeah. And again, we follow the major transitions in evolution, as Maynard Smith and others have put out, to really look at these major events and see where is that this pattern emerges. For instance, when an important point in evolution of living cells is when molecules arise through, reduced molecules arise through decoupling of water or decoupling of hydrogen sulfide that happens in the emergence of core metabolism, as Morovitz and others talk about. Again, within the molecular realm, the atoms are brought together by sharing of electrons. And in such molecular systems, naturally occurring small oxidized molecules like carbon dioxide and water or hydrogen sulfide are comprised of both electron donors and acceptor groups within the same molecules. In the emergence of living systems, coupled molecular entities are catalytically transformed into reduced molecules like carbohydrates through a decoupling transformation. And molecules like carbohydrates can be termed as dependent molecules. And the reason is that they depend on a production system for their production. They are not naturally occurring like the oxidized forms. Similarly, at the next higher level, cellular organization occurs through the sharing of biochemical pathways between cells. And here, coupled cellular species are multicellular autotrophs, and that contain both photosynthetic cells and non-photosynthetic cells, that is, producing cells and consuming cells, within the same species organization. When these evolve to give rise to heterotrophic species that do not produce their own biomass, this is again an example of a decoupling evolutionary transformation. At the next higher level, and this is an important point, social organization that occurs through the sharing of species resource. Here, coupled with composite species are the kinship-based social groups, where species producing individuals and species deploying functionally specialized groups like hunting groups, cooking groups, and role differentiation exist within the same tribe or the same community. This is again an example of a coupled composite species within the social realm. The next level of evolution gives rise to a decoupled species like business entities or non-kinship-based social groups that do not produce their own species resources, but must depend on kinship-based social groups for the human resources or for their species resources. So this pattern that we see in social organization, that there is a decoupling transformation in a social organization, is an important point in connecting social organization with its natural organization. Similarly, zooming in on the emergence of coupled species. This is an evolutionary event where a decoupled species is transformed into a coupled species with both donor and acceptor, or producer and consumer groups within the same composite species organization. Now, for instance, when autotrophic or chemoautotrophic living cells created or gave rise to multicellularity, this is a coupling evolutionary transformation. Or when individual heterotrophs gave rise to kinship-based families in the course of evolution. This is again coupling evolutionary transformation. So here are two patterns that are seen across multiple levels. So these common multi-level patterns of emergence of dependence, emergence of coupled species, and the emergence of alphabetic catalysts are presented in this working hypothesis. The hypothesis states that at every level in evolutionary emergence of self-organization of living systems, there is a common pattern. And the evolution of the system begins with a unitary species or multiple unitary species, then evolve through coupling transformations to give rise to coupled species. There's a decoupling transformation that gives rise to dependent species, and there is an interaction cycle that constitutes an ecological network at a given level. For instance, in the course of prebiotic, and this interaction cycle is sustained by a network of alphabetic catalysts. In the course of prebiotic evolution, for instance, the pattern begins with atoms evolves into coupled molecules like carbon dioxide, water, and hydrogen sulfide. A decoupling evolutionary transformation gives rise to reduced molecules like carbohydrates, and the interaction cycles between these reduced molecules in terms of autocatalytic sets constitutes a living cell. This process of autocatalysis and selection of the catalyst and evolution of the catalyst somehow finally results in an alphabetic catalyst in the form of a protein network. At the next higher level, we have autotrophic cells, which are producing cells. They create multicellular species which have autotrophic multicellularity. There's a decoupling transformation that gives rise to heterotrophic species, and the interactions between the heterotrophic species and autotrophic species gives rise to an ecosystem. And now the important point which we were discussing yesterday with Gunther is that what is the role that DNA plays in the emergence of heterotrophy? That really, is there a common role here? And so the hypothesis predicts that DNA will emerge as a language or as an alphabetic catalyst which actually is somehow associated with the emergence of heterotrophy. At the next higher level, there are heterotrophic species which give rise to heterotrophic kinship-based social groups, which have both species producing and species deployment within the same group. Another important decoupling, which gives rise to business-like entities, which we see in our socio-economic organization right now, and this gives rise to the interaction cycle between businesses and the dependent social groups and the family groups gives rise to our socio-economic system, and this is supported through the emergence of human language. So, a simple evolutionary pattern, a pattern where a number of stages of evolution are well defined, well known, presents a larger picture. The hypothesis presents that the evolution of multi-level coupled organization in living systems comprised of 3 different levels. The emergence of autotrophic and chemoautotrophic cells at the first level, the emergence of multicellularity and then heterotrophic individuals at the second level. Third level is heterotrophic families and businesses. Now, at a functional level, it shows that this kind of living systems evolve by first organizing geochemicals into biomass by really creating networks of autotrophs. At the second level, organizing biomass into species. And the third level is organizing species resources. So there are 3 different levels of self-organization at a very simplistic, high-level model. Key questions that arise from this hypothesis. And broadly, the hypothesis explores the interrelations between this evolutionary triad comprised of dependence, alphabetic catalysts, and emergence of coupled species. It also presents new insights and poses important new questions for further research. Right? It suggests that our socio-economic organization could be an extension of this larger pattern in the evolution of living systems. It reveals a high-level symmetry in self-organizing processes at different levels. It draws an important connection between the emergence of alphabetic catalyst and language and the emergence of dependence. And it also raises new questions. Simultaneously, the hypothesis also raises new questions for further research. First is our socio-economic organization an extension of this larger pattern as proposed in this hypothesis? The second question it raises is, can the emergence of DNA be associated with the emergence of heterotrophy? The third question it raises is, do alphabetic catalysts and human language play a similar role at different levels in self-organization? And lastly is, will this pattern continue at the next higher level of dependence between nation states? In such a case, the multi-level pattern predicts that the next level of intelligence or cognitive networks will arise in the next level of dependent species, which is business organizations, and will eventually lead to the emergence of the next level of alphabetic catalysts that will enable dependence between nation states. So this is, again, speculation at this stage, but it really forces us to look at if this is a broader pattern, then will the pattern continue at the next higher level? And people like Eric Chasson and others have found that energy rate density and growing complexification across multiple levels in evolutionary system, or in the evolution of the universe, all the way from the Big Bang to social organization, suggests that there could be a common pattern here which could be interesting to further explore. Now, having arrived at this point, we looked at ecosystems and to see if there are similarities in ecosystems across different levels. And another common pattern emerges in the form of ecosystem modulator networks. And this is very interesting because ecosystem modulator networks are networks that modulate the flow of resources across competing networks and give rise to community effects that functionally enable group adaptation. Right? And I'll give you examples of this. If one were to look at our previous model, of a three-level model, at the first level, where geochemicals are transformed into biomass by terrestrial plants, networks of subsoil fungi, called mycorrhiza, modulate flows of nutrients across competing networks of plants by using phosphorus, if you will, as a currency system. These fungi form large interconnected networks that can connect roots of multiple plants. Just like our banks, they finance plant growth by providing them with phosphorus, which is a key ingredient in the energy metabolism of living cells. It is found that mycorrhizal networks can dynamically reallocate phosphorus to such species that provide the highest growth under given environmental conditions. Now, what is interesting, this seems so much like our investment markets and banks that allocate investments to fast-growing sectors of the economy. The plants, in turn, deposit their surplus carbohydrate production into the mycorrhizal networks, just like the businesses deposit their surplus into the banking network. At the next higher level, we have millions of species of plants feeding millions of species of animals. Could there be functional mechanisms that determine flow of food to such species that show the most growth and overall benefit to the ecosystem under given environmental conditions? And this is, again, a next level of modulator networks. Scientists have found that gut bacteria determine how much of the food we eat is absorbed into our body and how much is passed back into the ecosystem. Gut bacteria are present in all heterotrophic species, from the simplest of aquatic sponges to the more evolved animal species. They modulate species' reproduction rates, appetite, energy status, and mood. It has been found that gut bacterial species in people who are obese are often different from those who tend to not put on weight. Recent evidence suggests that gut bacteria can produce plant hormones that are excreted through the feces and also signal to the plants the stress that an animal population is feeling in terms of nutrition and nutritional availability. And lastly, recent work by Broker and others suggests that gut bacteria actually functionally enable ecological niches for species. So it is not just genetic mutation, but a corresponding species network of gut bacteria and an evolution of a new species network of gut bacteria that actually sustains a new ecological niche. So the question is, can gut bacteria play a community role or community modulators in plant heterotroph ecosystems? In this three-level model, money plays a vital role in enabling non-kinship-based organization. And you will not, for instance, work for your job without money. In a way, money somehow facilitates the transformation of kinship-based social organizations, which do not require money, into non-kinship-based social organizations, which are money-driven. Changes in financial investments also help modulate the flow of resources across competing networks in the economic system, hence dynamically aligning resources and their deployment within the entire community. If you look closely at each of these modulatory networks, they occupy a strategic gateway or a vantage where resources can be properly gated. Hence, mycorrhiza are present in the roots of the plants where the resources are just entering into the plant network. Gut bacteria are present in the guts where, again, resources, right before the resources enter in there, and the financial investment networks form the roots of economic activity. If, for one moment, if we assume this larger model, and we say, okay, this is the picture, the outcome of this is that we see economic life systems which are operating possibly at 2 or 3 different levels. Now, the important question that we can look at is if these are indeed currency-like networks, can we have some kind of an integration between these three systems based on multi-level similarities and multi-level patterns? So can we create a currency exchange, for instance, which can allow human beings to go and work to enhance the ecosystem in the phosphorus economy? And if we are able to do that, then I think we have a way of integrating the three economic systems through human mediation, and where people can get rewarded on the basis of how much of economic value we create in the phosphorus currency. So this is again a high-level thought on how these systems can help us or provide us new solutions to this. So these ideas are explored through a second working hypothesis. Again, there are a number of questions that come in through this, looking at similarities between these three networks. So we're looking at teams of researchers who are working on different aspects of this. Questions is, again, evaluating the three-level ecosystem functional model. Are there functional similarities between these networks? Can we further characterize them? Do gut bacteria create interspecies community effects? And there is recent work which has come out from the University of Virginia which suggests that yes, this is indeed what happens, that gut bacteria are not specific within our guts, but they talk to other species of gut bacteria across sections of heterotrophs. And can we envision and establish a process that will align systems in different levels? I have time constraints, so I have just rushed through the presentation. There are a lot of details and a lot of work that can be discussed if we have more time. I'd like to revisit the previous question that we started off with. Can we get new insights from modern science that can help us better understand multi-level problems? And a common belief today is that science is all about the study of natural systems, and socio-economic systems are governed by rules of society. Hence, we think that science and society are two separate systems. This belief leads us to think that our economic and ecosystems cannot be fundamentally connected. Hence, ecosystem decline is treated as an externality in economic thinking. The outcome of this thinking is the acceptance that economic development will inevitably lead to ecosystem decline. And the way forward for sustainability is then to try and reduce the damage as much as possible. Now, with new insights from science and self-organizing systems, we could see a change in this paradigm, where we could begin to understand that natural and human socio-economic organizations could be a part of a larger common picture in the evolution of life and living systems, and where it might be possible to align economic systems and ecosystems and create enhanced synergies, where human development takes along all life with it, and in the broader vision, this could lead to a transformation from what I call as a shallow society, where we only think of human development, to a deep society where we encompass all living species. Thank you.
Because of the breadth, it's really hard to say, okay, which level do I want to answer the question. So I will just ask a superficial question. You know spiral dynamics, you know root processes. What is your opinion of the holacracy movement in Silicon Valley, things like that?
Well, I think good questions. Good questions. Yesterday, I'll answer your question in a different way. Yesterday, I was talking to Gunther Witzig, and he comes in from a biosemiotics perspective, and we were discussing, it's like, okay, how do you really, what do you want me to do? Is a question that he asked. And I said, look, we have an evolutionary framework, which, okay, there might be questions in certain aspects of the evolutionary transformation, that whether this came in before or that came in before, but those are some things that can be decided. But what this does is that this provides an overall scaffolding where different trains of thoughts, which have their own assumptions and their own ways of thinking, can actually come separately or integratedly, to address this larger issue. And from what John, the thought that John discussed with, is that this is a facilitating hypothesis. This is not a hypothesis which is authoritarian and is really trying to bring or force fit different lines of thinking into one.
Well,
Right?
let me focus on my question.
Yeah.
How do you differentiate this facilitation process from other established or out there facilitation processes? What makes this different from other facilitation processes?
So what this does, the reason why this process is different is that we are looking at integrating science to solve a specific problem, and we've been able to use a facts-based framework, right, and an experimentally validated framework to actually align scientists from across different disciplines. A lot of the other models that I've seen so far, they take one given model and they try and extend it across different levels. So for instance, when you try and get Timo Honkela, who's talking about unsupervised learning, to talk to Gunter Witzeny, who's talking about viruses and biosemiotics, right? So when you try and force fit things into one overarching stuff, so what we think is, on a more pragmatic level, if we are, instead of trying to force fit all these disciplines into each other, if we allow people to work together and let ideas bounce off of each other into and enhancing every discipline, then I think that might be a better solution. So that is the fundamental difference between what we talk about those efforts and what we're trying to do. Yeah.
I think your view is very, very interesting, because I think I coincide with you that we need a new point of view of the relationship between disciplines, between the thousands of disciplines. And if you have told it very well, that it is not providing overarching frames to confirm that you make the diagnostics of multiple relationships. I would like to remind, in the 13th century, there was an author, he was called Raymond Urey, and he tried to automatize the mixing of knowledge into tribute by means of some words with circles and quite many different kinds of concepts.
Yeah.
And he called it Ars Magna. He was very influential in Davy, he led to binary systems in the further century. But I think that we were looking for some overarching frameworks, and it is an arts, a combinatory arts of playing with ideas, facilitating, and I think you have put very well the case. In particular, how can we align, which I completely with you, the economic system informational mechanisms with the natural mechanisms of informational systems. Really, the great sense, and I think you are providing interesting insights.
Thank you so much.
Well, I have to think very much too. But we have so much time to go into what is the change in our economic system or financial system that we're going to introduce to make it alive, because the thought is wonderful. I mean, to actually trust the banks to make economy grow, which is not what's happening these days.
And I'll tell you, that's a very practical question that you ask, and a lot of people who are still skeptical about something like this ask. I have been in touch with central bankers, and there are some people who are associated with, with this project as well. Now, there are two problems that that they see from the financial system's point of view. They say that they are exhausted by the continuous need to create monetary, monetary stimulus, right? And despite that, new jobs are not getting created. On one hand, new jobs are not getting created. On the other hand, money is losing its value. So they like this idea of creating a separate currency zone, which is exchangeable and which is actually regenerating ecosystems. They love it because they say, hey, you're creating a new currency that can one, create a lot of employment, and two, that can regenerate ecosystems. And so show us how we can actually work on this or do this. I mean, this is possible. Yes, but this is all connected to phosphorus currencies. So you take a given piece of land or a given piece of area over there, and then you have probes that detect the phosphorus flow levels under soil in the mycorrhizal networks. And that gets translated into a currency. So, two problems that this is solving. One is creating employment, and second is it is rechannelizing the biomass flow, which we are horribly unaware of today on the planet. We bring so much of food to a city, and all that waste is not going back to the plants. So essentially, then we depend on fertilizers for that. So if this biomass could somehow actually be captured in terms of value to mycorrhizal, and the mycorrhizal networks, then that would create a natural system for aligning biomass flow from agricultural systems to humanity back into the agricultural system. So this is the reason why we like it. Also the governments like it because it means more taxes for them. So this is not a cap-and-trade system, but it is actually growing another sector of the economy or ecology, and that's the difference.
Yeah, you didn't really answer this question, but it's a nice answer.
Is that what you meant?
Yes, yes, but how this connection is going?
Through exchangeable, hopefully through exchangeable currencies, and we're working on that. So all the modalities have not been figured out, and I think that's why we have a group that is working on the currency part, and we want to, if you'd like to participate in any of these activities, we'll be most welcome to include people. It's not a closed group, it's something that's there for everybody's interest, and we'd love to get everybody involved in this. Thank you.